Christopher Dorner is the guy that's we're having the manhunt here in L.A. over. Of course, he shot not only a cop, but a cop's daughter.
Ex-cops, his lawyers.
Yeah, he was the guy who was representing him. He was, of course, Christopher Dorner is a former LAPD officer, and he got kicked out for basically for being a whistleblower, it appears, okay? And then the guy who was representing him, he was very mad at, and he won, the first people he killed was that guy's daughter and the fiancée.
Right. A little early to say that it appears he was kicked out because he was a whistleblower. I would say that it appears that he was, in fact, a crazy person that they were onto. Like, that part he left out of his manifesto.
It turns out they have now surrounded his mom's house. They have a warrant to search it. They got, of course, they got all sorts of guns everywhere. Now, we don't know if he's in the house at all. They're probably just going to search it. They also got a search warrant for his house in Nevada, and they went and searched that as well, and they found some interesting stuff there. But he's still on the loose. He burned his car in Big Bear, and then they lost his tracks, literally. So he's on the loose, and I've never seen a panic of this. You know,
it's like a movie.
Yeah, it's the LAPD is in an unbelievable panic. Look, Thursday morning, we told you this yesterday. They shot at 2 different cars because they thought it kind of looked like his car. They shot 2 Asian women. They're not dead, but
yes, they didn't return fire. They just started shooting.
Yeah,
they didn't do the thing. Come out with your hands up. They just started shooting.
If the LAPD catches this guy, even if he comes out and says, I surrender, no way.
So they're not trying to capture this guy.
No,
they're trying to kill this guy. They want him dead because they don't want him talking, obviously, or whatever. They just want to kill him.
Well, just keep in mind, as I said to Cenk this morning, that if that's true, and I don't accept that, but that they're just trying to kill him, that they are meaning a giant, that there's an edict that's gone down to every officer and they're all involved in this. But that would only apply, if true, to the LAPD anyway. Like the FBI, if this guy actually had information, the FBI has no interest in doing just what the LAPD said. Right. And in fact, if this guy, if there's serious corruption that he could talk about, I'm sure they'd like to. Yeah, I'm sure they. And if he's crossed state lines, if they're looking in Nevada, the FBI is obviously already involved, plus other jurisdictions here in.
If this guy is going to surrender, here's where he shouldn't surrender. In LA. Okay, so I mean, Ben's right. You go to the state of Washington, you go to the state of Oregon, whatever, those cops aren't going to necessarily kill you. I mean, you put your hands up, my guess is the cops are going to arrest you, right? But I would be shocked if he was arrested by the LAPD without getting killed.
Keep in mind, keep in mind.
And by the way, one more thing on that, Ben. I'm not saying, I think Jimmy is onto something that they might want to hide something, whatever. But I don't know. But more likely, the 80% of the reason they're going to shoot him is because he shot a bunch of cops and their family.
No,
they're going to want to shoot him on that alone. That's the main reason.
Right, but you're talking about a situation where when they get him, it's not going to be 2 cops in an alley probably somewhere. He's going to be surrounded. There's going to be a lot of cops there. And many of those cops will be like, all right, we got him. You can't.
But don't you think?
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Don't you think that it's there's something wrong with the protocol of shoot first, ask questions later?
Totally. Yeah.
That happened twice yesterday, right? So
no, that's unacceptable. Everybody agrees to that. You can't be shooting at poor Asian ladies because they have a car that looks kind of like Dorner's car. That's crazy.
People are describing.
It's already hard enough to drive if you're an Asian woman in the first place. So
he had to go.
If you're
had to go.
It was too. It was right there.
Okay.
But the news people are describing this as unfortunate, and they'll not say, "Hey, what the hell's wrong with those guys shooting first and asking questions later?"
If this were the fact that he written the manifesto and the fact that he wants to take out cops suggests that he's eventually maybe looking forward to the very thing that it may work out for everyone, because he'll want to go down in a hail of fire against cops.
Suicide by cop.
Right, but assuming that he could take some with him, because he's looking forward to maybe setting up where that is. There's also a possibility that if this were a normal case, that this guy has already killed himself, too.
Yeah.